Welcome back to Joy in Our Town. I'm Lisa Boldo, and our topic is the economy. Joining us is Pastor Thomas Reddick. He is the CEO of Renaissance Community Development Center. Welcome, and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Lisa, and thank TBN for inviting me to this show.
Amen. I'm glad you're here. As an economist, Pastor Reddick, what are some of the needs of the people that you see today?
Well, the needs are so broad, especially in the area of Newark, New Jersey. We see that people need food. There's a lack of jobs. Gas and electric bills are being expanded, and gas and electric is being cut off. So the economy is affecting everywhere, and in Newark, New Jersey, folks are really suffering because of the economy.
Wow. So you don't really see it getting any better, or do you think it is any better than it was? Or?
Well, it overall through the country and the way the president talks, it probably is getting better, but it's trickling down, and the trickle-down effect is so slow. And so we're not feeling the aggression of the economy. If it's getting better, we're not really feeling that part. Matter of fact, it's since January, it probably has decreased in our area. And, you know, there's a saying, sometimes it has to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, I've heard that too. And so how do you think the unemployment rate is affecting the economy today?
We at our community center, we deal with employment. We actually have a job developer and things like that to go find jobs, and it has been difficult. So the unemployment rate is not soaring. I don't think it has gotten any better in Newark. And again, it hasn't hit our area yet. Folks are leaving the city. Buildings are being vacant. Storefronts are being vacant. So, and it hasn't hit our area yet where people are coming into the city. We're getting a lot of investors that talk about coming into our city, but it hasn't. We have a lot of houses that are up for foreclosures, things like that. So we don't see that yet.
So, I mean, what are some of the ways that you would say we can help people to find jobs?
Well,
meet some of these needs?
Again, I said that we have a job developer on site, and we've been going to every Pep Boys, auto parts stores, IHOPs, and we've been soliciting for jobs. And then we have these people that come into our center looking for jobs, and we try and match those people up with those jobs, whether they be part-time or full-time. And right now, a lot of people are not choosy. They're taking minimum wage jobs and anything to help them make it over to till it gets better.
How do you think the youth are affected by the current economic situation?
Well, I think the youth are affected greatly because of their parents are affected, so the youth have to be affected. So they don't get all the things that might be necessary. I know in our area, bus tickets, children getting to school, you know, they're having to deal with that, and so it is affecting them. And they're being creative to look for ways to supplement the economy.
How do you think, how can organizations partner together to provide a safe and secure learning environment, you know, for the youth regarding the economy?
Well, partnership is so important. We, again, at our community center, we have an after-school program. And so it's very important that you have something or somewhere for our youth to go after school. So in partnering with the schools, and it's very important, being able to, we're on some school leadership teams where we interact with the school, the principal, the teachers. We try to coordinate with the recreation director for the school to provide ways to just engage the children, to keep them active, especially after school, is very important.
Yeah, and so What would you say maybe to someone who doesn't have health insurance, or how is a lack of health insurance affecting the economy?
It's affecting it greatly. And with the hospitals closing, and so it's really affecting people where they can't get the proper care that might help them. A lot of our, especially in Newark, one of the biggest hospitals we have is UMD. And it's overcrowded. It's always a crowd in that hospital. And so people, they tend to go and then tend to leave. And so they don't get the proper care. Right. They're only allowed to stay in the hospital one day if they have surgery or something, and then they have to be released. So it is affecting everybody. The economy is affecting even the sick.
What would you say are some resources that are available to help people, maybe with housing, or, what are...
Well, again, some of the resources that we have are Section 8. We've been dealing with that, and even with Section 8 with HUD, there has been cutting the housing opportunities. There's no more supplementing, things like that. So it is affecting that. So the resources are kind of hard. I know we have some resources in Newark concerning buying houses. They're trying to get people to buy the houses. And so that might help, because then the owners can rent the apartments a little cheaper and things like that. But it's not a whole lot of resources that we offer. I know in our town, the mayor, he's been helping with free income taxes and stuff like that. So people, they'll save some money and they don't have to pay the $200 or whatever fee it costs to do income taxes. So, I mean, those little things might help. So there is some resources. We have food pantries in the community. We have at our community center, we have a food pantry. So we see that helps. We have 200 to 300 people that show up at our food pantry. So that's a resource. Those things might help.
That's really good. Would you say that the economy is affecting public safety in the area?
Sure, it is, because what happens is, because of the economy, no money, crime goes up. And that's the sad part. And that's one of our answers to our crime rate in cities like, maybe even like New York and Newark, is that we have to find these people jobs, so they don't resort to that type of element.
That's really good. That's crucial. So between the youth and the people, and just all of the issues going on, I mean, what are maybe just 2 things that you can give us, that people can start helping themselves with, maybe finding a job or housing? I mean, what would be like the first step?
I think looking at your community, look for resources like computer access. A lot of jobs are now putting applications online, and so you need to go to the nearest place where computers. If you don't have a computer at home, we have, like at our community center, we have computers. We allow people to come in. Those things help. So that's one resource. Housing, again, is if you're looking to buy a home, go through your city. There's supplements that help purchase a house for first-time buyers. So those things help.
And so if somebody doesn't have, say, health insurance, I mean, obviously there's prevention and stuff like that, but what can the community do to help them? If they do have medical needs, are there resources, or are there community centers that can...
there is some community centers that do provide some health services. We have a doctor in our area who has a little program. He started his own program where it costs, I believe it's $35 a month, and you can see him as many times as you want to. So, there's some people that's trying to ease the situations because of the economy.
Right. And are there any learning programs to help educate people about the economy?
Well, again, I think they have to tap into their community centers, nonprofit organizations that's out there that have resources like that will help them or educate them on where to go and direct them.
So computer access, super important. Get to a
Super
library
important.
if you don't have one.
Right.
You know.
Libraries are very helpful.
Yes.
Community centers, all of those things.
How is the economy affected, or how does the economy affect the different areas differently? Like, say, Newark as opposed to, you know, the city. How is the economy different?
Well, I think it affects it because once you have a population, the greater the population, you know, and you only have a set amount of resources or a set amount of monies in those areas, it surely affects it. Mm-hmm. So if you have a town that has less people, but everybody's rich in that town,
right.
it really helps that town.
Yeah.
But if you have an area that is dense with a poor population, poverty is great, then the resources is going to be lessened.
Yeah.
So it does affect.
So how can our viewers find out more about you and the Renaissance Community Development Center?
Well, you can go online and go www.rcdcc.org, and you can find a lot about our program, which offers quite a few things and educates the public concerning different programs. So
that's wonderful. Thank you so much for being with us today, Pastor Reddick. It's been a pleasure.
God bless you.
And thank you for watching Joy in Our Town. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to write to Paul and Jan Crouch at P.O. Box A, Santa Ana, California, 92711.